Hi folks, this is Longshot 1982 here with another review. Today I'm super stoked to bring to you the latest from Sideshow Collectibles, the J. Scott Campbell Spider-Man Comiquette. It's the third installment to a three-piece edition, I believe, the Mary Jane, then the Gwen Stacy, and now the Spider-Man. This here is Spider-Man #1. It's Spider-Man's second appearance, first appearance being Amazing Fantasy 15. This is when, and it's also the very first collaboration between Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. I think it's the first collaboration of characters ever. This is the first appearance cover art. This is the cover art of that, where the Chameleon is. It's the first appearance of the Chameleon, first appearance of J. Jonah Jameson. A lot of key characters in this book. Great book. Great artwork, classic. I wanted to show you guys this. And here it is, the Spider-Man Comiquette by Sideshow Collectibles. Now, why he is next to the Rhino, you may ask. Now, the original Comiquette from Sideshow Collectibles was supposed to be the companion piece. You know, it would go with the Rhino. But the Rhino is a Comiquette, and Comiquettes, to the best of my knowledge, are 1/5 scale. And if you notice, if you ever seen the Comiquette of the original Spider-Man, he's almost the same size, almost the same height as this Rhino over here. So that's why I was super stoked when the Spider-Man Comiquette came out, because he was 1/5 scale and smaller. But the size comparison now, as you can see, is more accurate. This Spider-Man to scale is what I'm going to be displaying him with, is this Rhino, because the Rhino is towering. He's humongous. He's a gargantuan beast of low intelligence. And here you would have Spider-Man fighting him and still win. He would still win because he uses his intellect. But as far as the stature is concerned, this display right here is more accurate. Right over here, it's a beautiful piece. The base is fantastic. Much like the original Spider-Man Comiquette, they have the detail in the back. They have a pipe running down, all the way down to some sort of the rooftop building or some sort of ventilation system. Here it is from the side, right here. It's very similar in the pose of the original Comiquette, but instead of one hand being attached to the wall, both of his hands are ready to engage in the legendary web swing. It's very well detailed, which I shouldn't have to tell you at this point in a Sideshow piece. The backing is really cool. You know, here's the front of the base. It's got some sort of access point, again, possibly part of a ventilation system. The detail in the rock, of course, is pronounced perfectly, as it was in the original Comiquette. The only gripe I have with this piece, I really don't have a gripe with this piece, except for the exclusive version, what I think is absolutely retarded. They say it's an unmasked portrait. It's not an unmasked portrait. It's a partially unmasked by him having his lips exposed to be replicating of that scene in the Spider-Man films when he's kissed by Mary Jane in the movies or by Gwen Stacy or whoever. But it's not an unmasked portrait. The Daredevil Comiquette exclusive is an unmasked portrait. This is the same thing. I don't think that the pose with the face showing here, I don't think that pose is accurate with that head sculpt. That's why I got the regular edition. I like it. I'm happy with it. I think that anybody, let me get a close-up of the face for you guys. Alright, I don't think they shortchanged this at all. The price point's still halfway decent. If you get a deal on it, you can get it for under $300. Definitely worth the money. The packing, they packed it really well. These two arms come off, and they're packed individually toward the back, and the box is small. So much like a lot of us statue collectors have issues with these humongous boxes that we have to find storage for, that is not the case with the J. Scott Campbell line. That is my review of the Spider-Man Comiquette by Sideshow Collectibles. Right next to the Rhino, which I know is the best size comparison, as opposed to the Comiquette, the original Comiquette, which wasn't. So that's it for today, folks. This is Longshot 1982 out. Please sub me and please comment. I'd love to know what you think of this review. You guys are wonderful. Thank you very much.